And Martha, just slide towards me a touch closer there. Good, that should be perfect.
Okay.
And so here is the baby's head, and let me just try and line this up here for us. I can see a beautiful, healthy, strong heartbeat. And let's just go ahead and enlarge that area here. He's got some cord floating out in front of his face, so this might not be the greatest 3D image, but let's just see what I can do here, and I might be able to peel away some of those layers of umbilical cord here. And let me just Photoshop this up here a little bit. And it's just sort of a peekaboo look, at a little bit of his chin there. We'll do a lot better than that here in the as I can just move some of the cord off of him, and we'll do that in a minute here. So there is his head, cabeza. He has a whole ton of hair. This is all hair on the back of his head there. Beautiful, healthy, normal brain, nice, healthy amount of fluid, spectacularly healthy heart, into his abdomen and pelvis, nice, healthy, normal stomach, nice, normal esophagus. He's still a boy, and his arms and legs are all stretched out to the right side. So I'm immediately feeling really, really good about this. The placental anatomy hasn't changed. There's a bigger lobe in the back, a small tongue of tissue that I call an isthmus. If you know what an hourglass looks like, that really is what the placenta looks like, where there's a big chunk behind, a narrow chunk to the right, and then a smaller lobe in the front. It doesn't work quite as well, but it's not bad. And so I think we're going to be just fine here. Since Alejandro is giving me a great opportunity to look at his face, or his heart rather, let's do that. And so we've gotten a beautiful look at his heart before, but there it is again. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. And to see all of that cardiac anatomy, and there is his pulmonary artery, and there is his aorta properly aligned to his left ventricle, the blood flow tool here, as we're looking at the beautiful, healthy, normal flow patterns through his heart, the pulmonary artery, and the aorta, just all magnificent, really, in their appearance. Here, for example, his left ventricle had contracted, so the blood, again, the color is the direction of flow. So it's red in the aorta as it comes up like this, and you see the aorta then turns, so it turns blue because the blood is then flowing away from me. It's all in this same direction, but the color changes to match the direction of flow. Beautiful. So he continues to have an extraordinarily healthy and kind heart.
Great.
The kindness in his heart that his parents gave him. Here is and that his brother had, and there are the pulmonary arteries and veins.
Pulmonary arteries, the one that you see there?
Yes. Okay. These are going out into the lungs. Do you see how beautiful those are? Wonderful, healthy, normal patterns. And again, a wonderful, healthy aorta. So we're just in wonderful shape with all of that. Well, let's begin to measure Alejandro here. And this is his head. And so we'll first of all measure the width of his head. Wow, big old melon there, Martha. That's just what you wanted to hear, that your son has a big old noggin, huh?
Yeah.
But it's such a big brain is all that it is there. And the distance around his head is also a nice, healthy 25 centimeters, very normal numbers. This is just for fun, sort of an interesting thing. This is something called the Circle of Willis. and there's it looks like a traffic circle. There's a circle of blood vessels right in the middle of our head, right in the middle of our brain. And these are called the middle cerebral arteries. And the reason that this circle is important, Willis was the anatomist that described this, therefore the circle of Willis. The reason this is important is if you have a stroke somewhere that blocks off one of these blood vessels, there's an alternative pathway where the blood can compensate for the stroke, the brain attack, and move on. So that's just sort of fun. And again, beautiful, healthy, normal anatomy everywhere in your son's brain, things that we've known before, but no spina bifida, no hydrocephalus, the middle of his brain formed normally. It's all really beautiful.
Well, that was the face, right?
It is. And there's a thumbs up. Do you see it
Yeah.
there? He says, it's okay, Mom and Dad, I'm all right. You don't need to worry in here. And here is his right eye. And do you see the lens in the eye there? What looks like the full moon that we had last
really?
week?
Okay, yeah.
So if you just watch the lens, you see I'm over here. So, and he can hear you, of course. So he's listening to me over here. He's just looking straight at me. He's wondering who I am. And you see his lens move slightly there as he's...
Alejandro?
Yes.
Alejandro. So his eye would move. Oh, he just closed his eye, or?
No, there he moved. Did
Yeah,
you see?
he moved, yeah.
You see
Yeah, there you go,
yeah.
yeah.
He heard his dad and he said, oh, there's Dad. I know Dad, but I don't know who that other guy is. And so this is, again, the blood flow that we're looking at in his brain. This is sort of a curiosity here. I just wanted to show it to you. This is his nose. And I'm imaging like this, so you're really not seeing much else of his face there. But you see the movement in his nasal passages? What that means is that he's exercising the diaphragm, the breathing muscle. His chest is, his lungs are filled with fluid, as is his throat and pharynx. So when his chest, when his breathing muscle moves up and down, the fluid moves in and out of his nose, and that's a very healthy thing when you see that. It's important for him to have that muscle strong and developed. Yeah. If Andres tells you a joke, Martha, and your mouth is full of water and you laugh, it runs out your nose. It's the same thing here with him.
And it's more like a reflex in this case than...
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly right. And again, I'm going to turn him in just a few moments here so I can get the cord to float away from his little face here. And you see him, this is back across his lips. So here is his nostril, and there's his top lip. You see him swallowing there? You see his jaw?
Oh, yeah.
There? And if I come back a little bit right here, you'll run into his eyes.
Yeah.
So here's his top lip and his bottom lip. Beautiful. See how perfect the oval of his lips is? You can see there's clearly no clefting of his lips, which is wonderful. And here is his femur, his thigh. And we'll get his femur all stretched out. Look how strong that bones look. You've been drinking your milk and eating your cheese there, Martha, haven't
Yes,
you?
I have.
Yeah, we like cheese.
Yeah.
And so he's got a nice, long, healthy femur. It's about almost 5 centimeters long. Nice, healthy, normal pattern there. And here is his left ankle. There's his right ankle. His legs are nice and straight. They aren't clubbed. That is, they aren't turned at all. And let me just reach back there and show you his, see, he's got a hand coming down and touching a foot. So there's his ankle, and you're seeing a little bit of his hands as they come down and touch his feet there. and this is now up into his
brain.
his tummy, his waistline. So remember, Samuel really never had much of stomach,
Yeah.
and here's a nice, healthy-looking stomach. So his esophagus, his food pipe is just fine. This is now the distance around his waistline here, his tummy. And he's wearing about a 22 centimeter pair of pants, if that doesn't sound a little silly. And his kidneys are normal. Here is his umbilical cord. Nice, healthy looking umbilical cord. He has the of course, preferred 3 blood vessels in the cord. Samuel just had 1 artery. Alejandro has 2 arteries, which is what we want. There is his spine, the spine in his upper back. You see his ribs there. And this is up into his neck. Beautiful, healthy, normal anatomy everywhere. The base of his spine is normal. You see him move his left hand there. See the fingers there in his left hand as he's got them stretched out. Again, this is all the hair on the back of his head. See the fingers on his hand there.
That's amazing.
It is. Long, graceful looking fingers. Let's see, I might have got both hands on there. You see both hands there, as you can see that's the back of his head. And this is all hair there. So he's a very casual boy. He's just laying there. Oh yeah, I can see who my mom and dad are. I've got them suckered, yeah. I can pretty much do whatever I want to, I think. And so here's again that somewhat unusual placenta. Not a big deal.
What does that, is that something going to be a problem, or
I don't think it will.
it just continues to expand, right?
Yeah, it just was an excuse for us to see each other here today, I think. And it won't recover. It's always going to look like this. But again, I'm perfectly comfortable that that's going to be all right here. And let's just go ahead and try something else here for fun. And I think he is a boy. This is his scrotum and his penis there.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And his legs are being held up like that, so he's a proud boy. And your cervix looks fine, Martha. And your placenta is well separate from the C-section scar. We're loving this, aren't we?
I'm loving
We
it.
sure are. Me too. It's all looking good, every last bit of it. So let's now, since we do have a slightly anomalous placenta, not a big deal, but since we do, I'm going to go ahead and measure your blood flow now, Martha. And what this will do is make sure that the right amount of blood is being delivered to the placenta. So this will be your pulse. You'll hear your pulse now. Very healthy. So this is called uterine artery Doppler. Your heart is beating at 87 a minute, Martha. And the reason that this is important is by 24 or 25 weeks, something called the spiral arteries. They're called spiral arteries because they spiral from the mother into the placenta, into the afterbirth. If they've done that reliably, you get this pattern. You ski off of the top. Is there skiing in Colombia?
No.
Water skiing.
Water
Ski off of
A mountain, yeah.
Yeah.
Whistler, whatever you choose.
Uh-huh.
And you come down to the base camp all the way down without dipping into a valley anywhere. So what that means is that when your heart beats, the spiral arteries have formed properly,
that they aren't meeting any resistance from the placenta, that the blood flow is always forward, which we want. If your heart beats and it bounces backwards into a valley, that's called a post-systolic notch, which is a problem. So it's good, particularly again when you have a variation of a placenta, it's nice to know that we are okay with that. So that was your right. Let's now go do your left here. So we'll come off onto this side, and we'll check your left uterine artery. So again, we're fine there. Again, another extremely reassuring pattern. How wonderful is that?
That's